Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Veronica.
Yes, I can't wait to hear what this conversation will be like today, talking about the recall process that has failed.
Well, sit tight and watch.
Definitely.
And let me just ask, how are you guys coping with the traffic in Lagos?
Well, it's eased off now. By 3 p.m. today, the bridge will be opened, so there'll be free flow of traffic. Thank you for asking.
All right. Yeah, thank God it's Friday. And,
right.
I was just thinking, with the ruling from, the statement from INEC.
Well, it's a good one that INEC has done its due diligence, and, you know, it's getting a lot of commendation from the several quarters, even when a lot of people doubted that, you know, it was going to follow its due process, and they already preempted what INEC has done. It just goes to show that, you know, people should not jump into conclusion. Allow the process take its course and, you know, see the outcome before you judge.
And I hope when next it tilts the other way around, they will also
accept.
accept
That's another thing.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining us on this segment of the program as we take you back to Kogi State, where the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says the petition to recall the senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, has not met requirements. In a short statement, the Electoral Commission said that the petition did not meet the requirements of the Constitution. Also, in an updated statement, INEC cited Section 69A of the Constitution, which stipulates that a petition to recall a senator needs the signature of more than half of the registered voters in the lawmaker's constituency. And the total number of registered voters, in this case in the Kogi Central Senatorial District, is 474,554. More than one half of this figure, that is 50% plus 1, is 237,277 plus 1, which is just about 237,278 voters.
Across the 902 polling units in the 57 registration areas and 5 local government areas that make up the senatorial district, the Commission ascertained 208,132 signatures and thumbprints from the submissions made by the petitioners. The development comes weeks after the electoral body faulted the petition to recall the embattled lawmaker, citing missing addresses and other issues. The petitioners later submitted the missing items, a fact INEC acknowledged. But on Thursday, INEC again said the petition has yet to meet all requirements for the recall of Senator Natasha as enshrined in Nigeria's constitution. For more on this latest development from INEC, let's bring in a member of the Kogi Women Development Association, Sandra Musa, and she joins us live via Zoom. Also here with us in the studio, we're joined by the spokesperson of the Say No to Violence in Igbira Land, Abdulrazak Maman. It's good to have you on the program, Mr. Abdulrazak and Sandra.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. Well, I'll start with you here in the studio. Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan can now heave a sigh of relief following INEC's declaration that the recall process did not meet constitutional requirement. But it appears it's not yet uhuru. Do you think that those that are seeking her recall can regroup and gather the signatures required to meet the constitutional requirements?
Once again, good morning.
Good morning.
As a constituent, I am not excited.
Okay.
I'm not carried away by the INEC submission. Because from the ab initio, we knew the orchestrator of this game. They call it the game is the game. Their intention right from the beginning was to distract us from what needs to be done to ensure her reinstatement as a Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As we speak, our senatorial district has been suspended, which is an aberration to 1999 Constitution. So, instead of us to focus to occupy the National Assembly if possible, to protect the entire Abuja, Federal Capital Territory, they brought in the issue of recall, which they know is an effort in futility. You see, wasting of public fund, bastardization of our resources is one of the worsening legacy of Governor Yaya Bello. That you should not be surprised if an event, every right-thinking person in Kogi State are so aware the impossibility of the course they have, few people has embarked on, the contract they collected, the assignment they have collected to execute. They are aware of it. But as I said before, it's a means to distract, to rechannel our energy. Before now, you see protests everywhere across Central area, National Assembly. Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan has to return to the National Assembly. But in the last 2 weeks, all those efforts are redirected to focus on people who have embarked in this fruitless, journey.
Abdrazak,
yes.
Sorry, you will continue with your thoughts, but
yes.
It's a constitutional responsibility of every voter. If they feel that their representative did not satisfy, is not meeting their interests, it's their constitutional responsibility. Now, she was suspended,
yes.
And it is also a constitutional responsibility that, look, we need to recall her because with that suspension, we are being denied. You just talked about being denied.
Yes.
So is it their fault or the fault of the senator that she placed herself in a position where she was suspended?
I recall that in the recommendations of the Senate, a caveat was provided for her to apologize. Why didn't she take that?
Apologize for saying the right thing, or apologize for, or in this instance, what apology
apologize
means?
for not being on the seat she ought to be.
No. What happened at the Senate there on that day? She said, as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, if you are changing my seat, I should have a prior knowledge. Before coming here today, you give me a notice that I will be here by this time. She was not communicated. You just want to move her from one seat to another for no reason, nothing.
I asked you a question.
So,
why didn't she accept that caveat?
I make an instance. I said, karma, you see, the person at the end of the affair today, Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan, in 2021.
Okay.
In 2021, when he was the Minister of Niger Delta, he was invited to the National Assembly over misappropriation. The current Chief of Staff of the President, Right Honorable Femi Barajabi was the Speaker of the House then, where he said, Godswill Akpabio said, some of the House accused members that most of them take contract without the knowledge of others, without due process. The then Speaker requested him to write an apology letter. Till today, he never wrote the apology letter.
So,
I'm talking about him as at that time individual.
Being a minister.
A minister.
But when he was
We are talking about the senator.
when he was a senator.
We are talking about now a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, our constituents, to come and apologize for speaking out that the representative we have at the National Assembly has said she's been sexually harassed. You are telling me that you are suspending the entire senatorial district for 6 months for what you call misconduct in the House? That's aberrant to Constitution.
That's
maximum disrespect.
It is the rule, and she knew of the rule of the Senate.
The rule is subjected to 1999 Constitution. There are rules. The creation of Kogi Central is a creation of 1999 Constitution to have a representative of the National Assembly. Whenever their rules come into contact with 1999 Constitution, their rule become null and void. Why the Constitution take precedence? I am telling you that even they are aware that what they have done is inimical to democratic progress.
All right. Well, INEC said the petition is about 29,000 short of constitutional requirement. Now that Senator Natasha has given the Electoral Commission credit for doing its due diligence, but other people have also criticized her initial hasty condemnation of the Electoral Commission, accusing them of colluding with those influencing her recall.
As of today, INEC has a history of taking side with the government of the day.
Can you prove that?
There's so many instances out there where INEC have been accused. People were not aware where in the case of Binani and Fintiri.
How did INEC take stand? INEC suspended its rec.
After so many, after the cry across the world,
let me put that.
Representative there, as at the time who took action on behalf of INEC, and post action that happened afterward, as a result of the feedback they got from the society. What you saw yesterday is what INEC did is commendable, yeah?
Good.
But it will not closing our eyes to, we made it a statement before, that if Nigeria is where the system works perfectly or near perfect, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan does not even need to worry herself over anything, because we have had senators, we have had government representatives. But in her own case, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan has brought ingredients of good governance to us, which as consequence, we sought to be elusive, utopia.
I'd like to hold your thought because we need to speak to Sandra Musa, who is on the Zoom right now. Madam Musa, can you hear me? Your senator finally returned to... All right. Your senator finally returned to her constituency to talk to her people, and you saw the rousing reception she got. Has your views changed now that the need for her recall, or would you support her at this time?
Thank you very much. Of course, my senator, or the senator of Kogi Central, came back home, and her people welcomed her. You would agree with me that even if you're my neighbor, there are some persons who would definitely love you and be around you when you come home. And so, like we all saw, the meeting was in her compound, and we have 5 local government in Central, and we're talking about across Ajakuta, Davi, Okene, Okehi, and Mogori. But her people or her acquaintance came to see her in her compound when she arrived. That hasn't changed my mind in any way, because what we are after at this moment and what we're discussing is good governance. And I beg to differ from what my brother was saying in the studio. You see, if we are to talk about the relative peace that Kogi Central enjoys today, the former governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yaya Bello, it's a major player. And so you can't be saying that he's into disrupting the peace of the people. He's somebody who had done a whole lot. And if you look back into the history of Kogi Central as a constituent, it was when he came that our people could now sleep with their 2 eyes opened. And then we had activities booming back in Okene. I would beg to say that he revived Okene. And as much as we go around saying things about people, let's not always run away from their positive side and the things they have done to make our people better off today. And that is why we even have a constituency in the first place. His love for my gender is one of the reasons why we have lots of women in the Central today being part of politics. In the past times, anyone from Central knows that it's going to be very difficult for a woman to even want to vouch for councillor. But today you have lots of women that are already in politics because he brought that level ground play for us. And as we all know, it's a work in progress. Now, having to do with the issue on ground, it's something that we're standing by. It's something that we believe that once the level of compliance that we need to give is made available, the process itself will continue. And I must say that kudos to INEC. INEC being a single body, being able to verify that we already have over 208,000 votes, signatures verified. It tells that, as they promised Nigerians, that it's going to be a fair and transparent process. It is already being seen. If you know, there were lots of narrative that will hardly even have up to 100,000 votes or so being verified. And today, thank God where we are, that's over 50% of what is expected that has been submitted. And I'm sure that in no distant time, we'll all be where we want to be.
Okay, Madam Musa, are you saying that with the statement from INEC putting an end to this recall process, that you want to reactivate the process again?
Well, what I know very well was INEC said that it was inadequate. Doesn't mean that the process had been put on a halt. And so we are believing that once we are able to meet up with the level of compliance that they need for it to be adequate, the process will definitely take its course.
Well, some people say the crowd that turned out at the reception held in her compound to celebrate the Eid al-Fitr is an indication that the signatures for her recall were forged and did not represent the wishes of the people.
Thank you very much. The people in her compound, are they up to 5,000? And what we have from INEC, being an independent body, had already made us understand that over 208,000 signatures has been verified. So I'll leave that to the public to judge.
Okay, let me also
of course, it's politics, and you expect people to drive different narrative, to sell out their points and to also make themselves be top of the game.
Okay, Madam Musa, let me also ask. You talked about the former governor who was in charge for 8 years, what is done for Kogi State, what is done for women, what is done for Kogi Central. Some persons also say that he has a role in this recall. You want to talk about how involved he is in the recall of Senator Natasha, because he's also from the Kogi Central. Does he have a role he's pushing?
Thank you very much. It's obvious that he does not have a role.
How?
I'm happy that when the senator herself was talking, she said, even when she called the newsprint, they asked her for an evidence which she could not provide. Once you make an allegation, you should be able to make your evidence available. You just can't say hearsay. Of course, it's politics, and everybody wants to gain sympathy one way or the other. And whichever way you feel you could throw your punch and get what you want, you will do that. So I know very well that the former governor is actually taking his rest, and he's not involved in any of this at all.
Well,
okay. Sorry, I used to think that you were also one of the admirer of Senator Natasha. At what point did you fall out with Senator Natasha that you're not championing this cause to recall her?
Well, I don't know what you say by saying I used to be her, one of her lovers. So I don't know if you could make that
I'm
more
saying
explicit.
she's your senator. You, before now, didn't you believe in her capacity representing you? And at what end do you start falling out with her to get to this point of wanting her recalled?
Okay, I have actually been indifferent about her. She's never hurt me, neither has she done anything to me. So I can't hate her, and I can't say I extremely like her. But you know, most times when you have women in place of power, it's always your joy that they bring you a trophy, like the like of Dora Aquili, though dead, but we still celebrate her. The like of Okonjo-Iweala, and a whole lot of that. We have Judith Atta from Okene. We have our first female AG, Hajia Habiba Onumoko. We have Professor Marietu Tenuche. We have lots of women doing well. And of course, when you don't give people opportunity to prove themselves, you just can't go against them. And so you're always anticipating for something good and beautiful when you have someone there. But when the person decides to prove you other ways, you'll have no choice than to, keep looking. Like I said, I've always been indifferent about that. So having had to come back home, it has always been our constituency's decision. What is our major concern is that 6 months that she will not be in office.
All right.
And if you agree with me, just a simple apology would have taken this off.
All right. Mr.
It was
Abdurazak.
the seat issue that we knew about before any other thing happened. And we know that it was not only her seat that was changed.
All right.
About 5 senators' seats were changed. And the day she came in to present her petition, the same seat you rejected was the seat you sat on to present your petition. So how do we put this together?
All right.
All we are after is good representation and good dividends of good governance given to our people.
Well, we've heard you. We understand your point. Mr. Abdurazak, you heard your sister from Kogi State. Yes. INEC said they ascertained 43.96% of the recall signatures collected. Does this discredit earlier insinuations that these signatures were forged? Because it is believed that INEC has verified every single signature submitted.
INEC has not verified.
How do you say so?
They have only counted what they brought. INEC verification does not take place in their office. It's the third stage of the startup. INEC has not verified. What they did have counted. You see, the difference between distinguished Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan and every other persons in Kogi State today as politicians. Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan represents a paradigm shift from what we used to have. Let me tell you this. We have a governor, a former governor, who is from Okene local government, Alhaji Yaya Adoza Bello, who is from Agasa. We have Accountant General under Yaya Bello, Alhaji Jimo, who is from Obeira. We have the APC senatorial candidate, Engineer Ohere, who is from Lafi Obesa. All these people, when they have access to government, they all left their various wards to go and build houses in GRA, to create order of distinction between them and the people that they were living with before. In the case of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, when she came home, that she travels with the police, the drivers, even the media, patronize her people to boost the economic activities of the place. That is thinking outside the box. As against Yaya Bello and co, who left where the people that voted for them, that brought them to power, to go and create, to go to GRA. In fact, some of them even buy people's house, pay them off, or go, so they can erect their own.
Is GRA outside Okene?
But it's not their award. I'm talking about their award, where you live, where you go. Number one, she said Yaya Bello, lighting up, brought life to Okene between early 80s, 90s. There's what we call Total Junction in Okene right now. Total Junction is the popular junction that leads Obeira, Adavi, Okene. In early 80s to 90s, it used to be an economic hub because everybody who is traversing the road will wait there, eat, relax, and all that. As time progressed, the social infrastructure there decay. Note, Okene, where Bello came from. For 8 years, in fact, in 2017, 2018, Yaya Bello's cousin was murdered around the Ibrahim Oboju. When he was a governor, he never deemed it fit to lighten up the place. 18 months, Senator Natasha Akpoti has lightened the place. As we speak, in the night, people pass through the way to it because of Senator Natasha lighting up. And you say, people in their own license who are not cause, who cause such senator back home? No. We are not cause people.
Okay, Mr. Maman.
Yes.
Let's look at it this way. You are a supporter of Senator Natasha. Don't you think
first,
that...
I am from her constituents.
Okay.
First, my number one call.
Okay.
Whatever her actions and inaction as the Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has direct bearing on me.
Okay, just listen to my question now. Now, with those who are seeking her recall,
Yes.
doesn't that suggest that there are people that are not happy with her style and she needs to win them back to her side?
Go and
so
check.
what exactly is she doing to get those people back
Go
on
and
her
check
side?
those people who are orchestrating this recall. The first meeting that was held when they got the instruction from Benghazi was held in Glasshouse. Who delivered the? In fact, I have not even concluded my this thing. APC party chairman Abdullahi Dola, Kogi State, grew up in Idoji. He was a member of masquerade called Uruku. But when he had access to state resources, he went to GRA to build and abandoned his friends that he grew up with in Idoji, thinking they have created class stratification. So those people, you now say that you are more popular than someone who left the city to go and lighten up our place and bring life to the area. The people who are calling for her recall today, or who are the few people, are government appointees who never voted for her. To tell you, you see the ban of day before yesterday or 4 days ago. It's not today. It's not today. We have seen perpetual demonstration of absolutism, dictatorship, abuse of power, and executive recklessness in the pursuance of making Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan the Senator of Federal Republic of Nigeria, not today. Well, during the campaign, all the traditional rulers were barred from receiving Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. All. Including my uncle, who is a traditional ruler. I told him, Uncle, he said, no, I don't have a problem. But guess what? The will of the people supersedes that of few elites. The names in the street of Kogi Central today is Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan.
Well, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan
Yes.
put up on her social media when INEC declared that the recall process failed to meet constitutional requirements. She said, one battle down, 2 more to go. Does this suggest, and I want you to answer very quickly because I want to move to Sandra Musa, does this suggest that she's coming out with proof to back up her allegations of targeted assassination and, sexual harassment?
You see, whatever she has said, she has, I believe, as her constituents who believe in her right from the ab initio, who knows that this person, from what she has presented, she's going to deliver. And I have never been so proud in any cause I invested in, emotionally, time, everything than this one. I'm very proud about it because it is difficult or cumbersome for people to commend people who are in government. Seeing this commendation before now was even scaring me.
Is she going to provide proof?
So, whatever she has said, she's a lawyer, a very sound one. She's someone who understands the relation between facts, fiction, reality.
Okay, so I will just understand that.
So you should know.
We should expect proof
Yes.
from her. Well, Sandra
but
Musa,
people should not think that Senator Natasha Akpoti is going to carry her evidence and put it on social media for people to come and judge.
but she put her allegation on social media.
you will not
Sandra Musa, can you hear me?
Thank you very much.
I would like to play
Yes,
a little
I can.
bit of the devil's advocate here. You said you feel indifferent about your support for Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Some people might, criticize you for being a woman and, presenting that, your position. Some people might say she has already, complained of being sexually harassed. Is it not natural for you to sympathize with her?
Thank you very much. As a woman, when you talk about sexual harassment, it's a very painful experience, and it's something that will not be taken lightly. But in as much as that is, I think having a verifiable evidence is also eminent. Not forgetting that women can't live without the male counterpart. And so you just can't hear from one part and then...
Okay, Sandra? I don't have issues with her, with her network there.
Okay, we'll come back to her.
Okay. Okay. Now, still talking about what is on ground now. What is the next step? You said it was a distraction. The recall is a distraction. Now that's, let me say, temporarily aside now. What is the next step?
We are coming back to the street of Abuja. Until
you're leaving Okene.
Coming back because we need her to work. We send her here to work.
All right.
It's not about Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. I'll tell you. She's the first female senator from Kogi State.
All right, let's hear from Sandra Musa. I hear she's back. Just hold your thoughts. And Sandra Musa, if you can continue from where you left off.
Thank you. Okay, what I was saying is when you talk about sexual harassment, whether for a male or a female, it's a very painful experience. And having it happen to a female, it's something that's very, very, very painful because most times you find out that people see us as the weaker vessel and say a lot of things can actually go by. And that's why I was saying that once evidence are something that are verifiable and then we find it worthy, of course, we will throw our support behind that. That's away from politics. It is an issue of harassing a female. That is very germane. We won't take that lightly. But not until that is done. And I always say it's a personal thing. And she has to make us come into that and understand because it happened to her.
So are you there with us? Are you still there?
All right.
Okay, you're giving your thoughts.
We are coming back fully because what you ask her or what you send her to do, we are missing out as people. We will do everything within the ambit of the law. We are not going to be disorderly to ensure that the right thing is done. Huh? How can you suspend a senator for 6 months because you say your rules in the house, she has...
Why not just bite the humble pie? Apologize.
Apologize.
Does it take anything away?
It takes a lot. Where we are, before it got here, event has overtaken that issue of apology. At this juncture, apologizing is saying everything that has been said are not true.
And she was suspended on the issue of misconduct. Why can't she just
For
apologize on that? She has acknowledged that she has acknowledged that she was out of order. And she has apologized for that. Then pursue the other course and, ensure that your people are represented. Don't you think?
You cannot use... If you say that she's disorderly and you have suspended her for 6 months, which is against the Constitution, you say she's disorderly to your rules in the house. Giving her 6 months is disorderly to the grand norm that makes you a legislator.
But you are not the judge in this case now. The rules of the House of the Senate still stands.
Yes.
Now, if she feels the rules are not...
Look at, justice is given to everyone their due. The way and manner that suspension is being approached is nothing short of, legislative recklessness. If I'm using the words of Falana.
All right, let's come to Sandra Musa quickly. I'll come back to you. Sandra Musa.
Thank you.
We're trying to get your position on your support for Senator Natasha.
I would want to ask, are you an advocate for her?
I'm not an advocate. I'm not an advocate. I'm just playing my duty as a journalist because these are the arguments that we see on the public space. So I just want to know, because you are from her constituency, you said she's loved by her people, but here you are saying that you want her recalled because she's not representing you. You told us earlier if she comes to her people to explain why she took the decision she took, you might, reconsider your stance. But you're still insisting that you remain solidly behind what you were saying. So that's why I asked you that question.
Let me get that straight. What we discussed initially, I was making you understand that the people who voted her into office, she had never come back to say, these and these are the things that happened. And so what we know it's that she's been given suspension for 6 months, and that is tentative 1 year, and that means that we're going to be out of the dividends of democracy for that period of time. And I was also making it clear then that she would have taken time to listen to her colleagues. If you look at the video then, a whole lot of persons were trying to talk to her, and then she didn't listen to anyone, and then go for the option of having to apologize. Now, if she had apologized, and then this issue of being suspended for 6 months did not come to be, it would have still been possible for her to go on with her sexual harassment case, which, like I always say, and I maintain, it's a personal thing. And until a verifiable evidence is made available, we cannot jump into that. Now, having to say she came home to explain, if you look at the video of what she came to do, she came to incite the people. That visit was more about name-tagging people, blackmailing them, of which every one of the persons she had called, even to the present governor, which is the chief servant of the state, His Excellency Alhaji Ahmed Usman Ododo, has also got a level of followership. Right. Imagine if his followers would have also gotten angry from that.
Okay.
And that's why I'm trying to say that a whole lot has been done to keep Kogi Central in a place of peace, in a place of calm, which we enjoy today. And that's how our people can go back home and have a whole lot of time to spend with their people.
Now, just a quick one
I
for
heard
you.
my brother talking about the issue of someone coming home with convoy or that. Can you imagine the number of convoy or the number of appointees that we have in Kogi Central as an emergence of His Excellency, the former governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Ayadoza Bello, having to be, over a very long time, having a man from Central get to the position of governorship. You can tell how much he would have opened up the economy. It was his coming that brought about us even having beautiful houses. I liked when the other journalist in the house helped me ask, is the GRA outside Okene? The development is in Okene, irrespective of where it is.
All right.
There are lots of people who will get to that and not even have a hut in their village, Sandra, no matter the location.
We hear you, but I would like to come back to you, Abdulrazak. With the way the matter is unfolding, it now appears that a section of the society is ready to heavily criticize anyone who asks Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan to back her allegations with evidence. This raises the question, is it wrong to ask the Kogi Central Senator to provide proof for her allegations?
Come again.
I said, a section of the society appears to heavily criticize anyone who seems to ask Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan to back up her allegations with proof.
There's no section of the society that is criticizing or that is against anyone asking for proof. It's within the opinion of whoever is asking for proof to ask for proof. As far as we are concerned, but this saying that what is Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, her claim is not true. She should be suspended for 6 months. She's being rude. It's what people are being criticized. You see, what's happening in the National Assembly? If you understand her trajectory into the political limelight, you will not be astonished. In 2020, when she was contesting for this Senate, one of her favorite uncle, the now Ogobani of Ihima, told her not to contest against Yabelo's candidate. He cited so many examples of, what could be done to her. But she said, no. Uncle, I'm going to contest. Not just going to contest, I'm going to win the election. Because I believe, with my relationship or connection with the people, I will get there. So, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan is someone who is not okay with the wrong status quo. Irrespective of who is involved. So, I am not not against all my people. We cannot be against, we cannot criticize against who is even criticizing her. It's not the problem. In strategic study or even in research, you say thesis, what I have, antithesis, what you feel, synthesis, the emergence. Musa Zubair, she's a researcher. She knows what I'm talking about. So we are open to critique. In fact, it's one of the beauty of democracy. But where I have problem with even the people who are involved, the people who have been criticizing them within our local are nowhere to be found. As we speak, we have so many petitions with the DSS, with the Inspector General of Police, over missing people in the state since 2016 to date.
All right.
For being critical of Yahya-led government. For being opposition.
We've run out of time, but we definitely hear you and we understand your position. We must thank you so much for joining us on the program this morning to discuss this. And also, Sandra Musa, we thank you so much for your time with us on the program. It was a delight speaking with you once again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. That's our package from here in Abuja.